Welcome to Womb Talk. I'm your host, Elizabeth Vanderwalt, a holistic doula and a women's health coach, and the founder of Fruitful Womb Doula Services. This space is for every woman who is walking the path of deeper healing, whether you're tending to your fertility, maybe you're carrying life, or you're grieving loss, or even stepping into motherhood. And if that's not you, you might be easing into the wisdom of menopause. Here we honor the full spectrum of being a woman, and that is womanhood, through story, nourishment, and our sacred conversations. So feel free to find us on social media and stay connected with the community. But let's settle in, take a deep breath, and begin. So, I wanted to take a little bit of a turn for this episode. We've had a few people choose not to want to come onto the podcast, and that's okay. We are accepting of those who like what we're doing here. And I thought to make it a little bit more woo, to make it a little bit more interesting, I thought I'd start bringing up mother blessings. So this has been something I have taken a huge dive into lately. I've been really interested in learning more and researching, and there are courses you can take, of course, but obviously the more courses and courses that I can take, the list is endless. But I really first just want to come to see if there is even interest in that type of thing. So I will start off by saying that I want to put this delicately because it's based off what I study as well, but it's very important to me as a privileged white woman that I tread very carefully when I practice anything that comes from other cultures because I'm not here to intend on profiting from them, and I don't want to get it mixed up a little bit. So the tradition starts off that a blessing way is a very common thing in the Navajo culture, and it is to celebrate the rites of passage that occur throughout the entire life cycle. So a mother's blessing way is a little bit different, that they have changed things, and it's inspired, but it's not really exactly the same thing. But that's just a little bit of a start to talk to you about mother blessing ways. So if you're new to this term, maybe you've never even heard of this and you're like, what in heaven's name are you going on about? Like, I have no idea. So first off, mother's blessing way have kind of come around because it's kind of like a baby shower, although it isn't. Baby showers really are delightful in the terms of we're gonna do all the things for baby. We got to make sure baby's got clothes, and we got to do these fun games. Whereas a mother's blessing really brings together a group of women, and normally it tends to be of different ages. So you have those that have come before you as mothers in terms of your grandmothers and great grandmothers. Then you have the sisters that are supposed to help encompass you in your journey as a mother, and other expecting mothers. So it's normally a way to support and celebrate you, and give you all the love and blessings that you need. So instead of the games and the gifts, you really want to focus on ritual and symbolism. So normally it's about 5 to 10 women in a circle. You've got a facilitator, so that would be someone like myself or another person. And normally it starts with a guided visualization. So a very common thing is that people will write a letter to the mother to be, and then they have to read it to that mother. So they'll all take turns. The mother will get a chance to sit somewhere comfortable and nurtured, and then people will come up and read something to them that they wrote. So then normally the person that is hosting would invite the women to bring any type of symbolic gifts. So this normally comes to gemstones or candles, and then you explain the meaning to the group. So it's a little bit different. Everyone does it differently, of course. And so something that I really want to encompasses the mother blessings that I support will be a birthing beading. I'm still pronouncing it wrong. I will write that in the description. But pretty much everyone takes a different bead from home, and they bring it and they make a beaded necklace or something that the mother can use when she is going through labor. So it's something she could focus on the different textures of maybe the beads or the different like stones or whatever they choose to use. And each one has like an intention with it or a little bit of a prayer and if you're more religious, it depends on what is out there. There's also a red thread ceremony. And then of course you can't have a good mother's blessing way without having nourishing food. So you really want to focus on having home foods. Sometimes this could be in the style of like a potluck, and some of this can be in the style of the host or someone cooks for you. Then we normally have like a feet washing, a flower crown. Some do henna tattooing or have their belly done with belly art. So it's a lot more of a focus on the mother and the transition into motherhood. So I personally have just been so interested in this, especially because my whole part as a postpartum doula is to support women for the mother first. It is the mother first. And we love babies and we care for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it is also about making sure that mother is wise and good and cared for. Because, this is a vulnerable time. There's a lot of different emotions going on. And especially with the fourth trimester and huge bodily changes, that doesn't go away. So you really want to have that kind of extra support a little bit. And it gives you a chance to slow down in the third trimester when everything is about go, go, go. So, like I said in the beginning, the important component that makes a rite of passage so powerful is the presence of any type of elders. So, you want those women in your community that have supported you in the past, that are the grandmothers or the great grandmothers, even. And this makes it a celebration, it distinguishes that a little bit because as we age, we get wiser. We get wiser. So once you pass menopause or you're into the menopause stage, that is where you are considered in that eyes as an elder. You've experienced so much and you have wisdom to share. And we as a day and age are so disconnected from our elders, and they are often stuck away inside home and they have no say in teaching us the things they know. And yes, our elders now are riddled with disease that they never had before. But with the process that we need their wisdom, you want to encompass that inside your mother's blessing. So like I said, I'm kind of looking to read more and learn more about this on how I could host the perfect ones. And eventually the goal is that by 2026, I will be hosting them. So if that is something you are interested in Saskatchewan and Canada, I would love to support you with that. But that really just brings you to a little bit of an encompass of it. Like I said, I don't know henna that well, but I have used it myself. There's multiple pictures on the internet of me with henna. And I love just seeing the different things that we can do for women because this was something like it is said to come from the Navajo culture and encompass different life cycles in general. And I don't know the full history behind who started what part of what to make this in the mother term, but it's something that really it speaks to me because in this day and age, we need more that focuses on the mother. We have so many, there's podcasts I've been on and you can hear me speak about it, but so many women believe that they need to bounce back and they need to get back to a perfect area that they were before, but there is no going back to that spot because you have become someone new, something different. And when I used to read, I forget who it was, but there used to be a sentiment that stated where when you give birth, it's almost like your soul or your ether, whatever you like to call your internal being, I guess, outside of the shell of your body, leaves your body. And then it almost is like with wings, you get your child, come back down, and life is completely different. It's completely new. And that one sound of a scream or cry from your child is what brings you back to the present when you completely had transcended and left your body to go retrieve them. And, some might think that's a little woo and a little, out there, but I really thought that that would be something to share with you now because this is why items like this is so important to have so that you can get a taste of knowing how important, how special, how completely, entirely how do I say this, empowering moment happens to women. So if you have, I'm going to give a little homework at the end of this podcast. If you are listening and you have had a child, have you ever heard of this before? And did you have one? Let me know in the comments below. If you are not expecting and you are thinking about trying to have a baby, or you are currently pregnant, tell me, is this something that you would do? And if it is, why? And if it isn't, also tell me why, because I'm curious. So give me all the feedback. I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts and your ideas are a little bit about this. And hopefully we get some good feedback, something that I can read and bounce some ideas off of a little bit. And of course, if you're ever looking to speak on a Womb Talk, we have a very open, always policy of inviting speakers of women that around the world who are in ways taking care of other women. So if you have that information and you'd like to sign up, please check in the description. And I will see you next week with another episode. See you next Monday.